Not all items are text-based. The hotspot item utilizes images to allow you to click on coordinates to determine correctness. So let's say we pick a map of the United States. And then we ask, which state is Montana? On the question. And we know it to be right about here. So if we click on that, it'll tell us the coordinates of that position, 278 by 131. So down here, I click in 278 by 131. I have a 1 by 1 pixel size, so let's just see what that looks like. When I click finish, you can see I'm out here, but I have a very small selection area. I want to make this whole box selectable, so I need to make this a little larger. So I'll just take a guess and I'll say let's go 100 by 100, and we'll click finish. And that's saying, hey, this is Montana, but I'm missing some of this eastern quadrant, so I'll just make it a little bigger. I'll go 120 on this, the size of the width, 100 on the height. I'll move this just a little in and change this to 130. Click finish. And we can see there, that's a pretty accurate description. You can do squares and circles within here, so of Montana. So if I click on that square, that's going to determine correctness. The way that I do that is to establish the indicator. 10 is a good pixel width to establish that indicator, and give it a point value if I get somewhere in there. So if I click a 1 and click finish, that will determine correctness for the hotspot item. You can establish how many times you can guess on this. So let's say we have a minimum required of none and a maximum of 1, so they can't just go around clicking on that, and that'll determine if something is correct or not. I'm going to drag this item up to the top, and we're going to take this item really quickly so you can see what it looks like at runtime. Just dragging it on up the page. All right, so I click on the eyeball, and now at runtime, we will see what is the capital of, sorry, we're clicking through these. We'll get to that hotspot item. Okay, so if I click in here, it will tell me that's what's determining correctness. It will move my cursor if I click somewhere else. So on our designer, we can actually make this selector bigger and change the color if we want. So I'll go ahead and show how that happens. So in here on the designer, we could change the color. We could make the box a little larger. Maybe you want to make it 50 pixels. And we could change it from red to green or this light blue color. And that's how the option works for the hotspot item. So that was both at runtime and doing the designer to make that selection.